this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with layer masks in Photoshop. So basically how layer masks work are that they can hide a certain part of the image. At the same time, they can even reveal a certain part of the image. So mainly when you want to say do a sky replacement, or say you want to remove something from its background, masking comes in the picture at that time. Now the good thing about masking is that it's a little different from erasing. For example, we have this image over here and we want to do a sky replacement, right? Now I can take my eraser tool, or I can hit the E key on my keyboard to get to the eraser tool, and I can start removing. Let me undo that. We select a good brush first. I can start erasing like this, and it's going to do pretty much the same thing, but masking is a little different. Masking can get rid of the sky for me, but at the same time it can give me the option of bringing this back, the sky back, if I ever need it. So for example, and basically how masking works is you have to make a selection of your image, and then let me just show you. I'm going to take my quick selection tool to work on this image, and by the way, the links to download the images, of course, are going to be in the description. So I'm going to start selecting the sky like this, and it's going to make a pretty neat selection. Now once everything has been selected, I'm going to inverse it. Basically how masking works is that everything that has been selected is going to stay when I hit the layer mask button, and everything which is not selected is going to go away. So right now I have selected the sky and I want the exact opposite of this. So I'm going to press Ctrl Shift I. That's going to inverse my selection, and then I come down to I come to my layers panel. I come down to this icon right here, which looks like a Japan's flag, you know, like a paper circle thing in the center. You click it, and as I said, the sky will go away because it was not selected. Now if at any time I want to bring the sky back in, I can just take my brush tool, and masking is very related to brushes and painting. So when you take the brush tool, okay, you can see that firstly in your layer you get like two thumbnails now, right? The one with black and white color, that is your masks. So whichever part is black, that part is not going to show. It's more like black blocks. This is the way I remember masking, and this is the way I remembered it when I was starting in Photoshop. Black blocks and therefore white reveal. So white and like W and R doesn't really match. So B, so right, black blocks and therefore white reveal. So when you take your brush tool, automatically, and if you have selected your masks, you can see right now there is like a like a small surrounding around your thumbnail. So when your mask is selected, you will only get the option of working with these two colors, right? You won't have the option of, or actually you will, but those colors will only be in grayscale. You can see right now, actually I shouldn't have brought this up, but basically in masking you can only paint with white or black or shades of gray. You cannot paint with red, brown, yellow, you know, or any of those colors. So I'm going to go with white and black. Basically if you start painting with white color, white is going to reveal. So you can see right now if I start painting, I'm going to bring back the sky, right? And if I hit the X key to inverse my color over here, or actually flip my color, I can start removing those sky. Now there is a difference. If I paint like this, I can even get rid of all this ground, which I don't want to. So best thing is to make a selection first and to focus on getting a perfect selection, and only then hit mask, and only then start doing your masking work. Let me show you an example of masking over here. Now this is a city, right, that I had masked out. Let me show you the original image. This was the original image, right? I used my awesome masking skills to remove the city completely from its background, and I did sky replacement on this. Let me first enable the mask. I did sky replacement on this like this, and then I even added some water. So you can see how you can completely change your images from what they were with the use of masking. Now I want to show you all some more benefits, actually not benefits, but I just want to give you some more tips on how to work with masks. So I've got this image over here, and on YouTube, a lot of people tend to rely on the pen tool for getting a perfect selection. Now, I would say that pen tool is an amazing tool, but I won't use it if I don't really have to, because this selection tool takes a lot of time, right? So what you can do is you can hit the W key and work with magic wand. Magic wand really comes in handy when you want to do sky replacement. In these 3 example PSDs, I want to replace a sky on all my images, and that's the reason I have actually selected these 3 images to show, because I want to talk about the magic wand. Magic wand basically works with seeing the color value of the image, and you can basically control the power of selection or the power of detecting color with changing the value over here in the tolerance. So I'm going to reduce this down to 50. And when you select this, and if I start selecting the sky, you can see in one shot it selects almost everything. Now if I Control Shift I mean if I inverse it, hit the mask key, you can see how neatly it removes and it gets rid of everything for me. So magic wand is very nice when you are doing product shots, when things have been shot on white. Now, wait, let me tell you this. This was a very basic tutorial on how masking works in Photoshop. Masking is a very in-depth concept, and there will be thousands of tutorials on advanced masking on YouTube. And I'm going to soon upload advanced masking tutorials too. But for now, I just want to stick with the basics. Advanced masking basically gets where, let me show you an example. Actually, I have been working on a desert manipulation. I thought I'll include Eiffel Tower in it. This is an example of advanced masking. Now you may be thinking that we can do sky replacement on this. There is a neat sky. We don't have a lot of clouds. We don't have a lot of color changes. So if you magic wand this, you can pretty much select the whole thing. That is true, but the problem comes when you want to remove sky from this part. You can see, and also we have a lot of problems over here. So this is when advanced masking comes in picture. Also when you have hair to select, right? Hair can be a lot of problems. So those are the examples where masking comes in picture. But for now, we'll just stay away from advanced masking and we'll just focus on what basic masking is. So let me just make a selection of this guy real quick. I want to talk to you about some more things. So let me reduce this down first to 5. Okay, so I've done making the selection to this. I'm gonna hit the layer mask key. I'm gonna Control Shift I, then I'm gonna hit the layer mask key, and you can see right now I've removed some part of this tower. So what we can do is we can take the brush tool and we can start painting all this part in. Just remember that black blocks. So if I was to paint with black, it's actually gonna go away. I'm going to hit the X key to flip my colors from black to white, and then I can paint all this back in. So, when you are starting with Photoshop and you're getting started with masking, you will face a little bit of problems, but, with practice, those will go away. So, yeah, that is good. Next, I wanted to talk to you all about, gradients. Now, when you are creating special effects, when you're creating special effects, you can, make a mask without actually making a selection. For example, I've got this image over here. I can select the layer. I can hit the mask key, and you can see nothing is going to happen. It's going to fill this mask in with white color. Now, as we know, white reveals, so everything is still being revealed and nothing is being hidden. I can take my G key. Now, this is for those people who know a little bit about the gradient tool and how it works. It's actually a very easy tool, nothing that complex. We can take this black and white gradient and we can use this for creating a mask. For example, like I'm going to select my my masks in my in my layer, and then I'm just going to drag like this, and I want to create a mask like that. So you can see basically it has like a transition from black to white. So wherever there is black at this spot, everything is being hidden. And as it transitions to white and it has shades of gray in the middle, you can see we are getting like some opacity, and then we can still see through the image. So if I was to make like a solid color, as you place this below, you can see we get this very nice see-through effect. So, gradients can be used a lot of times for creating masks and creating special effects in those masks. And then we have, I think, one more example. So this is very easy. I just wanted to give a shout out to the magic wand tool and how can it be used for doing sky replacement. A lot of people go for a pen tool. Actually, in this photo manipulation, the way I selected the city was with the pen tool, because I had a lot of curves and a lot of precise selections to do, and it took me around 20 minutes. So pen tool can take a lot of time to select, but your selections will be perfect. But then again, it takes a lot of time, right? So you have to decide which tool to use, and when will you use that tool. Select Ctrl+Shift+I, and when you hit the mask key, all the part which is selected is going to stay, the rest is going to go away. So that was my tutorial on how masking works, people. Thank you for watching.